As darkness falls upon Mount Gratu, Alaska, we once again meet for Gratu After Dark. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, we haven't had an episode of Gratu After Dark in several months, and we're back. So, how are you guys doing this fine Thursday? Yes, thank you. Thank you very much. Yes. This is Gratu Orloff, Dr. Gratu Orloff, coming from up here in Gratu in North Alaska. Gratu, not Gratu. Yes, indeed. Now, Donald Trump just flew in. He's staying in our basement. He's going to be giving a big rally here on Saturday evening about 7. But right now he's sleeping off the jet lag downstairs. Let's see. Horror Mike is here. He says, "Hail Gratu and Talking Tina." This microphone's not working. Let's get the real microphone going. We should have some special guests tonight. God damn it. On this incredible episode. But until they arrive, let me see if I can communicate with them. All right. Let's see. Yeah, I'm live now. So you can come on whenever you want to wait till after dark, right? Is that correct? All right. Well, I'm here. Yep. Yep. Cool. All right. Very good. Bye. So, how are you guys doing this fine Thursday? Yes, indeed. We have 6 viewers. Incredible. Yeah, I'm looking here at Instagram. Look at what Grandpa Munster looks like. He's got a mustache now. Isn't that just great? What the frick? Looks like Lily Munster is now a communist. There's Rob Zombie's version of Herman Munster. And he actually did a very good job in recreating the house. I must salute him there, but he wasn't the carpenter that built that. Eric Breen says, "Good evening, kids." And Horror Mike says, "Is that Grandpa Munster with Jesus?" Yes, it would apparently be. Okay, the link is in the chat. There's more comments. I have 8 viewers. Howdy, Eric, says Horror Mike. It's go to YouTube. All right. Well, tonight's sponsor, as always, is from Post Cereals, Super Sugar Crisp. Inside, you can get your free inside Sabrina Super Bounce Crystal Ball. Sabrina, the teenage witch, the teenage worshiper of Moloch. You can get this ball that bounces so high it may knock a satellite out of the sky. Yes, and it's vitamin powered as always, so make sure you pick this up wherever fine groceries are sold. Yes, thank you. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much. Okay, so we've got the Jackson Roykirk. Hello, Gratu, Eric, Mike. It's like the Waltons every time the Gratu Orloff After Dark show begins. So, with no further ado, while we're waiting for the special guest stars that will begin today's episode, let's take a look at some fine reading material you could have picked up years ago. Back when you could buy a magazine for $1, it's Masters of Terror with stories by Robert E. Howard, creator of Conan. You got Robert Bloch, And you've got H.P. Lovecraft and August Derleth and even Theodore Sturgeon. Yes, indeed. Back in the old days. Who else is on here? Greetings, the Jackson Roykirk. Yeah, see, it's a funny book. Used to be able to get these wonderful magazines at the newsstand. Here's a Marvel preview presenting America's greatest crime destroyer, the Punisher. And that kind of tips you off as to what the Punisher really was. See, they were trying to compete with the Destroyer, which was a series of paperback books that were out back then. And the Punisher was meant to be like those kind of neo-pulp heroes that were in all those different volumes of paperbacks back in the 70s. Now, I was the only son of a bitch in my fourth grade class that knew what phantasmagoria meant, because it's right there on the cover of Planet of the Apes #1. Yeah. Zira is not very happy there. Not at all. This has an exclusive interview with the screenwriter of Planet of the Apes, Rod Serling. Yeah. So, lots of cool stuff. Mike Plugart. We were talking about this magazine last night on the Graphic Man channel on the Four Color Fossils show. Let's see. Horror Mike says, Masters of Terror reprint of the Ted Sturgeon story from Supernatural Thrillers 1972. Yeah, there's reprints in there from an early 70s color comic. That's late period black and white Marvel. It's not the great stuff from earlier on. All right. So I think sun sets at exactly. Hey Siri, what time does the motherfucking sun set?
Sunset will be at 8:50 p.m. today.
It's 8:47 right now. So at 8:50, sometime after 8:50, we can expect our special guest to be appearing. Hey Siri, what color panties are you wearing? I'm not sure I understand. I'm just a poor AI. I don't know what panties even are. Now, just so you know, if you're a comic book collector, and here on the Grouch Warlock channel, we appreciate all forms of rock and roll culture, comic books, humor magazines, movies, obviously rock and roll records. And man, I'm seeing shit floating around behind me. Are those ghosts? Did you see that floating stuff? Is that just lots of dust? Possibly dust. Well, anyway, perhaps we're capturing the paranormal here tonight. I hope not. Anyway, bubblegum cards, anything that your parents hated and wanted to throw away. That's the stuff we love here on the Grouch Warlock channel. Trash, basically. This is a YouTube channel that glorifies the trash of yesteryear. The trash that kids love, model kits, toys, all that kind of stuff. Well, anyway, some people buy comic books and they send them off to a company called CGC. I think it stands for Criminal Grading Company. And they take the comic book and they give it a rating. Like comic like this would probably get like a 9.8, because it's close to perfect. And then they would slab it, encase it forever in plastic. And so you never be able to read it because people don't like to read. And anyway, so we don't like CG. We don't like the CGC because here we like to read our comics. And you can tell this is a 9.8. One of the things that most people, most comic collectors like is for big chunks to be missing from the cover. That usually adds to the value, because the more you can tell that this was a comic that was truly loved by a child back in this case, I would say about 1965. let me put on my reading glasses and see if this is indeed 1965. Come on, baby. Let's see here. It says, well, I'm right, man. March of 65. You know, I was born in April 65, and this is from March of 65. So the comics that were on the newsstand in April of 65 actually would be dated June of 65. They were always 2 months ahead. So this comic was already off the stands when I was born. But anyway, for those of you that want to seek this valuable comic out, it's Blackhawk number. God damn it. Where are my other reading glasses? Oh, here's my other reading glasses. These are better because they allow my eyes to get closer to the text. It's number 206. Yeah. That guy looks like a really mean Superman. That looks like if Superman was your dad and you woke him up too early on a Saturday morning, what he would look like. Oh, but look at this ad, man. This is what the Gratu Orloff. Oh, look, isn't that great? We really like it when some pages are loose. That's also a really good sign that this comic book was read. But anyway, it's the Astro Force. This is what Donald Trump created. The Democrats don't like what he did, but he created the Astro Force right before he left office. And that's a very important new branch of the military. All right. Let me check my walkie-talkie because let's take a look outside. No, the sun is still out. It's 8:52. Sun may have set, but there's still a glow of accursed daylight outside. We here at the Gratu Orloff channel love you this much. Let's see. What else can we find here? Why, what a worthless piece of valuable collector's item. It's when Marvel had the license for Hanna-Barbera for a while. It's the Hanna-Barbera's Laugh Olympics. Look at that. So someone was Muttley Blue. He was never blue, was he? Or was I? Hey, did you see that new Hunter Biden? Oh my God, my wife and I saw that. There's a new clip that came out from the Daily Mail today. Holy cats, you just won't believe it. He's sitting in a flotation tank like what's his face in Altered States, right? He's sitting there naked, jacking off, or was laying there jacking off naked. At least he didn't do that in the movie Altered States. That would have been too much. What was that actor's name? He was in Body Heat and Altered States, and then he just seemed to disappear off the face of the earth. I forget the guy's name, but back in the days of Richard Gere, maybe the insertion of the gerbils in their anuses killed them all off. But anyway, Altered States. But anyway, the president's son's floating in a tank. He'd just gotten like $60,000-$70,000 wired to him by his father so he could go into drug rehab. Anyway, he's floating in this liquid, smoking crack while he's listening to this soothing new age music. And then he's drinking some power drink. And then he stares at the camera like this. Yeah. Classy First Family. Not that we talk about politics here. Let's adjust the lighting a little bit. William Hurt. Yes, I remember now. William Hurt. Yeah, William Hurt. Hurt so bad. Remember Invasion of the Body Snatchers, the remake from 1978? Remember that dog with the human head? Yeah, this is fine literature, man. Sure is. And you can look what you can get from the Fun Factory. All of these wonderful gifts and gimmicks. And look, I always like this little mummy. Where is he? There he is on the Pacific Comics ad. Perhaps we need better lighting in here. Let's see, I can adjust this light. Is that better? What's better? Is that better? That. That looks apparently more human. That's a little too. There we go. Branko Bear is here. He says, hey, Gratu. Hello there, Branko. Oh, look at this cool full page ad for Power Man and Iron Fist. Because you know that the kids that read Laugh Olympics are the same target audience for Power Man and Iron Fist. There's Robert Bell looking a lot like Thor, but you know he's not the mighty Thor. He's Robert Bell because he has bees all over his vest and on his helmet. Yes, dude. And the Shogun Warriors were premiering in Marvel Comics. And look at this poster you could get of Wonder Woman, Linda Carter. You can get Farrah Fawcett, and even the Coneheads. I'm really orange. Am I really orange now? Now it's fine. Okay, yes, fine. How do you know I'm not really orange? Yeah, I was doing all the lighting for Donald Trump there for a few years, and he started looking orange, and then he fired me. But he's still my friend. That's why he's sleeping in my basement here up in Mount Gratu, Alaska. It's the final issue of Power Man and Iron Fist. Sure is. Yeah. So let's see. Let me put the link in the chat once again. Damn it. I stepped on a dog toy. I'll be back. Evening. Hello.
Hello!
Hey.
It was I!
It's Gratu.
Yes, it is I, Gratu Snorloff, your... Thank you, yes! Thunder! Your distant fake, half-related, twice-removed cousin.
Oh, yeah. You know, we never met in person, but I've seen pictures of you in the family album.
Yes. How are you doing?
Pretty good. So where are you at now these days?
I am in Arlington, Texas.
Arlington, Texas. So what have you got there? Is that another relative?
This is just my mother-in-law who's visiting me for the year.
I see. Cool. So what you been up down there in Arlington, Texas? 10 hours away.
10 hours of horrible, terrible driving. Not much, but today I'm here to showcase Channel Planet Comics.
Channel Planet, yeah.
Which I'm sure you are familiar with.
Yeah. I missed the last 2 issues because I'm not anywhere near a comic book store.
Yes. Well, I'm sure as your readers are already familiar with Channel Planet #1, the world famous Channel Planet #1, of course.
Yeah.
Yes. Here it is. But they may not know about our newest line of comics called Just Cartoons. And here it is, Just Cartoons #1. Right there.
Okay.
That's it. And the logo is a sticker. Isn't that neat?
Oh, is it?
Wow, so much fun. Full color, very cool.
Yeah, I have to say, I have both of those, and I highly recommend both of those.
They're exceptional.
Publications.
The one you don't have is Just Cartoons #2, which is called Splamo Blamit.
Okay, and no, I don't have that one.
How long is that one out? It's the worst comic ever made. It's amazing. You should get it. You should check it out.
Well, that's the type that I like.
So good. Yes.
Can we see a little of the interior of that, or is it too horrifying to be shown on Family Network?
It's very bad, very poorly drawn. Wow. And in the end, they blow up.
Ah, amazing.
Splamo Blamit.
Yeah.
Yes.
So,
Splamo Blamit. So how are you? Oh, God, get out of here! Get out of here, you! Get out of
that's been happening to
the
me
terrible
myself.
hammer. It is horrible.
That's weird. My dog Drew has been attacking me for food a lot lately.
Maybe you should get a hammer then.
No, I haven't been using a hammer. I've actually been giving her food.
Oh, I'm
Uh-oh.
sorry. That was the doorbell. Hold on.
Doorbell.
Come in. It's unlocked. Sorry, I got a little peckish, so I ordered a pizza. Oh, here it is.
Wow.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Oh, I tip. Here you go. Don't spend it all in one place. There
Yeah,
you
look,
go.
it's in a vintage box. It looks like it's been around
Yes.
since the early 70s.
It looks disgusting. I know. It's horrible. It's so awful. Let's see the pizza. Oh, God.
Hey, it's me, your delicious pizza. And I just have to let you know that I am legally obligated to mention Axtel puppets. Anyway, I'm hot and delicious and manufactured in a factory. Please enjoy me. Please enjoy me.
And
Great.
what is that? Xtel what?
Axtel puppet.
Okay, that's enough of that. That's awesome. Very cool.
Cool. So you've got now how many actual comics is your company cranked out now? That you showed us 3.
What was that? Go again.
You have
So far, we have 85 comics.
85.
Only 3 are printed, and only 2 of them are real.
Okay. And then you had a special Christmas issue. Is that sold out?
That one has been banned in America and 76 other countries so far.
Okay. So you said
this is going good.
cool. So yeah, man, I really like and there's an international crew of artists that work on these comics. From what I understand.
Yes, each one of them is one of my sex slaves, and I love them so much, so very much.
So how can people obtain?
Oh, I'm sorry. Hold
what
on.
you got going on there?
I'm receiving a phone call message. Hold on. Hello? Yes, this is Snorloff. Yes. We are being sued. For what? For the pizza? Great. Very good. Wonderful. Thank you very much. Cool. This has all gone very well and gone according to plan the whole time.
Okay, excellent.
Great
So,
pizza.
so how do you think we moved from Arlington, Texas? How's it going down there?
It's horrible. It's a
horrible?
bloodbath. There's toddlers covered in peanut butter and Great Danes running around everywhere, licking them all over. It's horrible.
Yep. So you have your comics at the local stores?
No, we took all of them out. It was bad. We didn't like it. We preferred to have them at the shows and at the Comic Cons instead. That is where we make the money.
So yeah, you were at a comic convention, and I was supposed to be there with you. I remember that. And then we wound up moving to escape the liberal world order, and you and I so I was going to bring.
And
some
you did
comics
it. You escaped.
We escaped. You need to escape now.
I escape in my mind every night.
Have you thought about getting out of Arlington, or are you going to stick around there?
I'm going to stick around and see how bad it gets.
Yeah. Yep. So, do you or what's going on at the local comic stores? Anything? Do you even go to those places?
No, I try to stay away from them as much as possible. They smell like a dreadlocked hamster. And they're mostly Pokemon cards, which I don't give a fuck about.
Yep. Well, yeah, the Pokemon, I don't understand that. That's way after my time. I don't think if I was a kid in the 90s, I would have been drawn to it either.
Oh, yes, you would. Yes, you all children in the 90s were extremely hard for Pokemon.
Yeah, but I just don't think I would have done that. I just don't think I would have gone there. At least when I was a kid, we had wacky packages, and then the kids then a few years later had garbage pail kids. But I don't know. I
Pokemon
think
is so much better than those two. So much more profitable.
well, it could have made. Well, I don't know. Wacky packages made a shitload. So did garbage pail kids in the 80s. So let's see. Captain Strangelife here says, "Eat that tasty, hot, and delicious female pizza." Oh my gosh! At least the voice sounded female.
Yeah, you would think until you took the pants off, and then you will see. Do we see
Oh
the
my
pizza
gosh.
again? Let's bring out the pizza one more time and hear a long, long monologue from the pizza.
Yeah, it sounds like the pizza has some fans.
Hey, I thought you were gonna eat me, man. What's this all about?
I like you. I want to hear more from you.
Do
Please
you
keep
identify
going.
as a male or female
Well,
pizza?
It is a pizza.
I mean, I'm genderless. I'm a pizza.
So, what are your
What do you want from
pronouns?
me? I got pepperonis. I don't know if that's more feminine or what. I mean, I got something for everybody. I got meat. I got vegetables. Kind of healthy. I think I look good overall. I got a nice crispy tan about me. I got nice big cheesy bags under my eyes. I really am kind of the whole package sealed in a package.
Yeah, sure enough.
Well, just shout out to all my fans out there. Thanks. I love ya. I couldn't have done it without ya. And yeah, Axtel puppets.
Yes, we are legally obliged to say Axtel expressions.
Absolutely.
Axtel. Okay,
Yeah.
thank you, pizza.
Bye.
So, how many puppets in the Xtel puppet group?
I don't understand the question.
Well, I mean, they're Xtel puppets. It's plural, so I assume that you've got.
It's just a
network-
company that legally we have to say the name every time we show this pizza,
Okay,
or else we get sued.
so
Which
does
we,
that?
apparently we were sued earlier, but
Oh,
now
really?
we're done being sued.
So, is the Xtel puppet group going to be affiliated with the Channel Planet line of comics in any way?
No,
No, nothing.
no,
to
it's
do
just
with
a legal thing that we have to do.
that. Oh, okay. So shit, man. Those Xtel people are very litigious, huh?
Yes, and very religious as well.
Captain Strangelife wants to know where you can order a talking pizza.
From channelplanet.org.
Pizza's making me hungry. LOL. Does she have? This is getting very
They
disturbing.
only like you.
My
Would you
wife
rather me leave and just the pizza be here?
Was that someone else, or is he a ventriloquist? Says
I'm a ventriloquist.
you're a
I'm the world's best ventriloquist. In fact, pizza, come back. I'll do hands-free ventriloquism. Here's my hands.
Well, if you drink some beer while the pizza's talking, you can prove that it's not you.
Yeah.
That would be outstanding.
All right. Well, I mean, I was promised a 15-minute break, but I guess if people want a show, then you got to give them a show, you know. So I'm honestly not that happy to be here anymore. I don't know what else I can give to you, but I've checked out those Channel Planet comics, and they're pretty cool. If you go to their website, channelplanet.org, you can buy some for yourself. They get shipped anywhere. They got some cool T-shirts.
Yep.
They didn't have my size, but you know, I can probably buy one and get it tailored.
So channelplanet.org, and you also have an Instagram page, right?
Yes, it's channel_planet. And they
Yep.
make all sorts of stuff. They have some cool videos and I don't know. It's okay. I mean, it's pretty good. There's some pretty pictures, but it's mostly just stuff you can find in the comics. At least from what I've gathered in my 20 minutes that I've existed on this planet as a delicious pizza. But I gotta say, it's really enriched my life. Just like my hot, delicious flavor is sure to enrich yours.
And the comic book is something that it looks like an underground comic, but it's really not. It's something you could let your kids read without feeling too guilty. It's,
No, incorrect.
No,
You
it's
should
all-
never let your children read this ever.
Yeah, it's
It's horribly violent.
absolutely.
well, there's violence, but you don't ever have any cursing or nudity, right?
We're changing all of that. The next one is pure pornography.
Okay.
And wax figures doing pornography. It's amazing.
Yes.
It's incredible.
They
Okay,
told me a little bit about it. It seems cool, but still, I guess that's family friendly, depending on your family's moral values.
Are your comics still distributed in Arizona?
Yeah, there's Gotham City Comics that picked up a few. There's Keith's Comics in Dallas, Texas that carries a couple, but mostly it's the Comic-Cons and a little bit of just kind of setting up booths.
How was
I
that?
don't know.
last
I'm just a
Comic-Con?
pizza man. I ain't got all the answers. Are you gonna eat me or what?
I think we're going to keep you around for a while. You're a very good spokesperson. You do very good at talking.
Well, all right, I guess so. But as long as you eat me afterwards.
Well, is the dog still around?
They're dead. Sorry.
Oh,
Yeah, you killed
that's
him with
right.
the
The
hammer.
hammer. I
The
remember.
minions of the night were very irritating.
Yes. So how was that convention that happened in June? Did they actually have comic books there? Because most comic conventions seem to not have comics anymore.
It was amazing. Most of the comics were $90 each, and a lot of them showcased octopuses raping women. Bless
Okay.
you.
So they were the
God bless you.
Japanese manga stuff, right?
Yes. There were Earthworm Jim comics, which looked interesting, but again, $90 for a comic book is a little bit shitty. Just so
Yeah.
you know, Channel Planet is only $8.
Wow, that's a smoking
Wow.
hot deal.
And Just Cartoons are only $5 instead of $90.
That's
Wow. Jeez, and I bet you it's funnier. It's probably better. It's probably funnier.
Oh, I thought it was great.
Because it's cheaper. That's why it's funnier. It's made much cheaper and costs you nothing.
But
Yeah,
you could be able to tell by that quality. It is just gorgeous.
yeah. Those really are well produced comics, and so I highly recommend them.
Oh, I'm kind of
Mhm.
catching a draft. I think I'm gonna cool off for a while. Later, guys.
Okay.
See ya. So man. So I sometimes I miss being down there in Arlington, but what kind of other stuff are you up to down there?
Mostly staring.
Yeah, that's what Hunter Biden was doing in that video. Did you see that video they released earlier today? It's all green.
Yes. Was he also smoking crack like usual?
Yeah. But then he was staring at the
Incredible.
camera like you're doing now.
He's so cool. I want to smoke crack and also have sex with one of the Obama's daughters on camera. Amazing time. He is a god amongst terrible, terrible men.
Do you guys started a YouTube channel? So
No.
Monster X says you should be a late night horror host along with the pizza.
Yes, I'm sure it would be very funny and very entertaining the entire time.
Yeah. Well, you were thinking of starting a whole TV network. You ought to start on YouTube, and then that'd be a magnificent way to promote your comics.
It would be great. The only thing I'm missing is a $2,000 supercomputer and an entire crew. That's all.
You don't
Once I
need
can
all
have
that.
that.
That's ridiculous.
Yes, I need that because I cannot edit videos anymore on my laptop. It can't handle it.
Oh yeah, I never edit anything, and look how popular I am. I have almost 400 subscribers.
That's true.
No, that's ridiculous. I'm nothing. But I don't know how to edit either. I mean, I could learn, but I'd like to also figure out a way to transfer all the VHS and DVD DVDRs that I've recorded over the years and put them up on YouTube because I've got a lot of great stuff. I just don't know how to do that. I guess I could learn. Let's see. Old Clee says, ha 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 ha. Franco says, I would sub to this madness. So you already got a potential
You would be
subscriber.
submissive to me. Yes, that is what I want.
Yes.
That is what I desire.
So, what other?
We need a laugh track. Can we get a laugh track in here, please? I'm
Yeah.
feeling dead. I'm
Do
feeling.
you have one, or would you like me to provide one?
I'm having one provided by me right now by the creatures of the night.
Okay. Because
We're just waiting for it. Hold on. It'll come any second now. But continue talking, though, please.
all right,
And whatever you say will be very funny because people will laugh at you.
there we go. So yeah, now it's already funnier. Now idiots know when to laugh. So, what have you been up to besides producing comic books? Have you been recording any music or any other media that you're involved in?
Every day I go in my backyard and I continue digging this hole. I have a giant hole in my backyard and I'm obsessed with the hole. And I just dig in the hole every day and everyone goes, why are you there digging in this hole? And I have no idea why. And I must dig this hole until I get to somewhere else because I'm so unhappy here that
If
I
you
must
dig a
go.
hole to China, then you could gas up your car with all the gas that was sent there by our president.
Wow, that was a good
Yes.
move on his part because we sure don't need it at all. We
Not
sure
at all.
don't need, not at all. No,
So what are
they
gas
need it there.
prices? What are gas prices there? You've got a hearse that you've got to. How much does it cost to fill up that hearse?
The hearse costs, I don't know, $60. It stopped working, so I stopped driving it.
That's a good way to save gas. Is to
stop
have a
driving?
non-working car.
Yes.
Yeah, I think that's what they intend for it to happen to all of us. Horror Mike says, "Who does the tracks on the Channel Planet site? You should cut a 45."
Yes, we're recording more songs right now. And we will be cutting 45s as well as 12 inches and all the way up to 25-inch records.
Oh,
The-
maybe we
the
should
big-
play some of the music because I won't get a copyright strike because it's your music, right?
Yeah, you can play it if you'd like.
So where do I go exactly?
channelplanet.org/music.
All right. I'll cut the laughter when I get there. Well, let me just go to
Keep it though.
channelplanet.org to show
Your time.
people what they'll see. Let's see if I remember how to do this. Share screen. Okay, so all right, so this is the Channel Planet website. Man, how long have you had this website? Because I don't think I've ever seen it.
Somewhere around possibly 3 years.
Sorry. Well, let's see. So I have this issue.
Yes.
I have this one,
Yes.
but I don't have that one or that one.
Yes. Channel Planet number 2 is about to be printed. It has not been printed yet.
Oh, that's why you haven't sent it yet.
Yes.
You did get the address?
Yes, I did.
Because I had Cleo send that because I can't
I
remember.
hope you
the
like
zip code.
anthrax and bombs.
Right. So music. All right. This is ancient Atlantean. Does that
That
say
is correct. Yes, I had to translate
this
it
is
into
for
Atlantean.
free download for free? Maybe that's click.
Oh, go down, scroll down, down it, and there's theme song to your left.
All right.
Just click play. The triangle button.
All right. I'm stopping the laughter so it doesn't interfere with the music.
wonderful quality.
Well, that's great. It has a bit of a Japanese feel, like Puffy Amy Yumi that did the Teen Titans theme, or the 5, 6, 7, 8. It's very good. Then we've got a bonus track. Let's see what that's like. You can download them too, so you can listen to them in your car. The new Hunter Biden.
I could only wish such a promising future for myself.
So what are some of your musical influences?
Children crying, the sound of people shitting, traffic accidents, just common everyday things that musicians love.
Hey, what was that YouTube video you showed us where the kid is having an accident? Could you find that? I could play that here on the...
I might need a little bit more of a description.
I'm sorry.
The
kid's playing a video game, and his mother wants him to stop playing the video game.
Oh, yes.
How do I find that?
I don't remember what it's called, but the young man, he needs to take a shit, and his mother can smell the shit. And she tells him, please go to the bathroom, and he will not go. But I don't remember what it is called. Maybe type in small boy needs to shit. That will probably get you the video you want. Small boy needs to take shit.
I don't know. I don't know if I want that to type that into nowadays.
You're right. Hunter Biden might find you.
Yeah. Anyway, there was some kid was playing a video game, and he can't leave the video game because he's playing live, right? And his mother's saying, "You need to stop that game, and you need to go to the bathroom." And the kid's like actually shitting in his pants, and is trying to tell his mom, "Be quiet," because the people he's playing with can hear her nagging him. "You're going to shit your pants." And he's going, don't say anything, Mom. I'm trying to play the game. It was just very good. Like all the TikTok people, it entertained me. So, what is what are these things? We've got like a Count Chocula, a heart, and a chicken bone, or is that a guitar?
I think that's a guitar.
Guitar. Okay, so that means Count Chocula has a heart and plays the guitar. I guess that's a compliment. And she said she's interpreting it. I got it. I got what? Oh, she found the. Oh shit. She's calling. So
Don't answer.
Hold on. Hello? Can I put you on speaker? Okay, you think you got it? Yes?
I think the video you need is go to the bathroom now.
Go to the bathroom now on YouTube.
Yes.
Well, I guess if I type that into the internet, the NSA won't be too upset. Go to the bathroom.
I don't know. Oh yeah.
Go to the bathroom now on YouTube. There it is. There sure is. All right.
Let's enjoy now. I'll call you later.
All right. Right. Goodbye. Love you. All right. So let's see. What are we doing here? Let's see. Important things here on the Grattuar Live channel. So, how's the weather down there? Was it like 104 today? I think I saw.
At least.
At least.
It
Wow.
felt like 175.
So you're not going to make the 10-hour drive up here to visit for like a week or something?
I will, but not with my uncle. You wanted me to go with Peter. I'm not going to be in a car with him for 10 hours. That is torture. This horrible hell. In hell nightmare.
Is it because of what he talks about or because he often runs in other vehicles?
It's the smell. It's the horrifying smell. Oh,
The horrifying smell.
that's my baby crying now.
Oh,
Did
my.
you hear that? Maybe it will cry again. Maybe it will cry louder. Oh, there it is.
Wow.
Do you hear that?
Yeah, man. It sounds like Hillary Clinton's house. She's,
Yes.
She's having
It
a
does sound like
sacrifice to
Hillary
Moloch.
Clinton's house because of how many babies she has. She always has babies with Bill, and they make babies a lot all day.
They make them cry so they can get adrenochrome, right?
That's exactly right.
Well, let's see here. We found the video, it would appear.
This is it. Yes.
All right, let me make sure I got volume up. Okay, guys, you got to watch this. This kid is streaming, playing some generic video game, and does not want to, because if he leaves the game to go poop, then he'll lose the game. So that's the basic setup here. So it's called Go to the Bathroom Now. How many views has this video had, just out of curiosity? It's had almost 2 million views. So from Mr. GMC Lucy. Okay, so this is probably the first time this has been broadcast on the Grattuar Live Color Inspirational Network. Let's listen.
Demetrius, get off the game, go to the bathroom, and take a shit. Now.
Hey.
Bathroom and shit now. Go to the bathroom and take a shit. Smell you. Get off.
Hey,
Go to the bathroom.
get out.
Go to the bathroom. I can smell you shitting yourself. Get up and go to the bathroom. Now.
No. Yeah.
Get
No.
up and go to
No.
the bathroom.
Not yet. What the hell?
Go to the bathroom. You're shitting yourself.
Not yet. What the hell?
Go to the bathroom. You're shitting yourself.
Not yet. No.
I will rip
No.
everything apart. I swear to God. Go to the bathroom.
Not yet.
You're shitting yourself.
Not yet.
You're shitting yourself. Poop is coming out of your fucking
Hey.
asshole.
Not,
Go to the bathroom.
not yet. What the hell?
Go.
Not yet. No.
Go to the goddamn bathroom.
Not yet.
Yes, that's one of those classics. Monster
Yep.
X says LOL.
Very good, Monster X comics.
Have you found any other amusing videos on YouTube?
What a meme this is.
What the hell?
Yes. Please type in BB. Oh, do you hear that?
I sure do.
That sounds like the Oscars get the fuck off the stage music.
Oh, do you have
I
to?
guess I
you
have to
run?
leave now.
Oh, do
I
you?
must go.
Oh
The
well, what a
creatures of the
shame.
night are calling me, aka the people who do the
Yep.
Oscars.
You have to go to the bar.
I have to go to the bar. Yes, I have to pick up women or men or dogs, whoever I have a feast for tonight.
All
or
right.
I'm in the
well,
mood for. It
and,
was good seeing you.
It's good seeing you. So take care there, and we'll be talking to you real
Oh,
soon.
look who it is.
Channelplanet.org.
Sure enough.
Wow, that was terrifying.
Sure was. Well, take care. We'll be seeing
Bye-bye.
you. All right. Take care there. All right, so that was our special guest. Does anyone want to come on now that we've had our incredible guest appearance, our first guest of the evening? Who's out there in the chat? Let me put the link here again. See if anyone wants to come on and talk about comics and the state of the world. There's in the whatever the fuck you call it, the chat, there's a StreamYard link. It looks like this. Well, that was nice for my long lost relative to appear. He claims he's going to come and visit. That will be quite wonderful for him and his wife to visit. And yeah. So Frank's bloody, shitty covered dildo says, "Where is Rob Zombie?" Yeah. And where did you find that ghoul, Grot? Says Bronco Bear. Is it Branco or Bronco? Hey, Horror Mike is visiting. Let's see what's up with him. Add to name. Branco or Bronco? Hey, Horror Mike.
That was almost too horrifying to. Oh,
yeah, it's a terrifying Thursday evening here.
that was pretty terrifying. No one shall be seated during the pizza sequence.
Yeah. What the hell?
Check it out. Now, I actually should be wearing my 3D specs on this, but I just put this up there.
Oh, I have that. That's a great
And
book. Is that the mid '80s or was
Yes,
that
it is.
the 90s?
It is mid 80s.
Trying to.
And it has got, yeah, it's pretty great because it's got these, the stereoscope thingies. Shit. Let me see if I can get some of this crap out of here first. But there we go. Those things. So they
Yeah.
put them in 3D, but they were created in the mid 1850s in France.
Yeah.
There were stereoscope, you had those viewers, so they
Yeah.
had the double image and you could see them in 3D.
Yeah, I've got a whole book of those. It's
Yeah,
like the Diableries or something, and they're all
Yeah,
skeletons
Diableries.
and devils all frolicking together, a little miniature. They take pictures of these little miniatures, and they're.
Yeah, man, that was who wrote that book?
You did?
Brian May, the
Oh,
guitarist
Queen.
for Queen.
Wow.
Yeah.
Deputy Dipshit official channel says, "Hi Orloff, how's it hanging?"
There we go.
Deputy Dipshit is Deputy Dog's uncle. Yeah, that's a different edition of the
recognize
book.
that.
That's not
Yeah.
the same edition I have. That may
got
be a
a-
nicer one.
It's got a lenticular cover.
Yeah, I don't have the lenticular cover. Maybe that's the
Pretty
difference.
trippy. Look at those little skeletons. It should be on the cover of the Ghost comics. 'Cause
Yeah.
There's a lot of skeletons in there.
Yeah, that's like Richard Corbin or Simon Beasley art come to life.
Yeah.
I don't know how anyone can not own that book.
Yeah, so the French, these artists, circa 1850, they made all of these little models of creatures, and they filmed them specifically for the 3D effect.
Yeah,
Incredible. They did I think 150 different settings.
right.
know?
So that and French fries are probably the greatest creations of the French.
I think so.
Brigitte Bardot. Other than that, I can't really think of anything they've ever done.
Not
culturally.
really. Well, yeah. I mean, and the
I'm
fact that they love Jerry Lewis, which is kind of
Well,
frightening, really.
yeah. I mean, I can't say I hate Jerry Lewis. There are Jerry Lewis. There are elements, time periods that are hateable, but it's also a wonderful time. And this guy, made a whole career out of imitating someone that's mentally retarded, and somehow got away with that.
He did. Well, he also invented the guy was kind of a genius because he invented the first video tap ever used on a camera in studio. Jerry Lewis. He took a small camera, attached it to one of those big hulking studio cameras, and he found out that he was able to use a monitor to incredible shit. Nobody else had ever done it. That was
great.
Jerry Lewis.
And he used to hang out with Frankenstein's monster and this vampira type girl and Dracula. No, that was Bob Hope that hung out with all of them. He would hang out with Nazis that ran summer camps.
Well, of course, there was that movie with, Dean Martin and Jerry Lewis called Scared Stiff, which was one of their XXX rated features back in the day.
Well, with Dean Martin, they were great, and I'm a big fan of that movie where Artists and Models, where they're, Dean Martin is it takes place. Do you know that movie?
Well, I've seen all the Martin Lewis movies.
Well,
sure
I mean, because of your interest in pre-code horror, it's the only movie that I know of comedy that takes place with in a comic book company pre-code. I mean, have you seen that particular movie?
Serious?
I'm not kidding. It was called Artists and Models, and there's Dean Martin is in love with this Shirley MacLaine, and I think Dean Martin's a comic artist, and they have it's like they're in this comic book company, and this guy's kind of based on William Gaines, and there's comic book covers they produce a comic called Bat Lady, who's this evil villainess, but she's the main character of the comic, kind of like an anti-hero, and I think Shirley MacLaine is the model that they used to draw this other. I think it's Dorothy Malone is the comic artist that draws the comic book. And anyway,
that's crazy.
Yeah, you see it.
I'm gonna have to see it now because that one doesn't ring a bell. Although I could have sworn I saw all those Martin Lewis affairs.
Well, but I think with your interest in comics of that time period, let me see if I can find a trailer for it on YouTube. Yeah,
I like that. I like the music. I like that punk kind of sound from old Snorloff there.
Oh yeah. They're
cool.
That's well, I've told you about this friend of mine, Tom, that we wrote a script together that was optioned by Roger Corman. That the guy you saw giving backstage information, he's a cousin of he's a younger cousin of my or is he a cousin or is he a nephew? He's related to my friend that passed away, and it's weird, in the 1980s. Wait, was it the 80s? It must have been, it was the late 80s on television. Because my friend Tom was his uncle. Anyway, 1980s local Dallas television. There was a kids show in the afternoon on, I think, Channel 27, and they ran Max Fleischer cartoons, black and white, Betty Boop and Popeye, that I had never seen in my life. I think I'd seen one like at a sick comic book convention, but growing up in the 70s, they only ran the color Popeye cartoons. So I never, because they figured black and white, well, who wants to see black and white cartoons? We have color now. So I never saw those classic Betty Boop and Popeye, but this guy took over that local independent channel, a guy named Mark Lamberti, and he was a big movie fan, and he ran all these great monster movies and classic movies, and he bought, I guess, a lot of these Fleischer cartoons. So he had a show on weekdays with these two clowns that were actually married in real life. And they were great, and they had a studio audience of kids like the old Howdy Doody show, and they ran these cartoons. So every day I would set my VCR to record that show, and then I would have it hooked to another VCR, and I would watch until the cartoon started, and then I'd press record. I had the two VCRs hooked together, and I'd save all the cartoons because there were no DVDs, there were no ways to have these cartoons unless I saved them. So I saw that show every day, and then it turns out the guy you just saw is the baby of that couple, and they even brought him on as a little, when they were clowns, they had him as a little clown baby. And so anyway, it's just he's kind of like family because he's related to my good friend that passed away and everything. And
he's carrying on the horror tradition there, you know.
Yeah,
totally cool.
I haven't been paying attention to the comments over here. Let's see what people are saying. What are people saying here? Oh, people are over here talking about Ray Harryhausen. What? I missed a lot of comments. Let's see. I once went to a marketplace and saw a guy that looked exactly like Jerry Lewis. Could have been a relative. And then victim of circumstances. I want to get all of Ray Harryhausen's stuff. Were we talking about Ray Harryhausen? Is all of a sudden everyone in the chat's talking about Ray Harryhausen has an amazing catalog of stuff to get? Yeah, he sure does. Harryhausen, back when movies were good. Yes. Gratz, would you like me to bring you a drink? You have only 3 choices: beer, water, or watermelon juice. It's hot up here, man. I got to turn that fan back on. I guess I'm okay right now as far as fluid. Let's see. But thank you. I met Harryhausen. I think he passed away not too long after. Victim, I agree with you. Watermelon juice, obviously, that sounds awesome. Actually, it does kind of. Yeah, he did. Sure do miss Ray Harryhausen. I would rather watch a movie with Harryhausen effects and all of the junk they're making today, where all the effects look the same. Oh, I think because you showed that book with the little skeletons, that must have reminded people of Jason and the Argonauts or the Seventh Voyage. That must be how everyone veered off this way.
Skeleton sequence in Jason and the Argonauts is incredible.
Yeah.
It still stands as one of the great animated sequences. You know?
Yeah. You know, I can't stand the CGI. I mean, sometimes they can do a good job with it, but hey guys, be careful of vaping. Those things contain metal.
Too late.
You don't want any of that stuff in your lungs or any part of your body for that matter. They're spraying it out of airplanes on the chemtrails.
Making a metallic shield, protective shield within my lungs, you see.
Yeah.
And that really, it works.
Yeah, and was he the friend that saved Keanu Reeves' life from rioters? Yes, that's correct. Yes, Tom was the guy. My wife confirms. Tom is a legend. I love how Orloff uses his hands. Oh, do I? He is like a conductor leading the orchestra of fun information. I love you, Orloff.
So that was the guy that wrote the script that you guys wrote the script?
He had a lot of the ideas. He was kind of like Kirby, and I was kind of like Stan Lee, and that he had these ideas, and then we would, you know, I was better at the writing, and he was better coming up with ideas, and then we'd bounce ideas off each other. But when I was the one that typed it all down and everything. I hope I can find that script. I mean, everything is.
Man, I'd love to read it.
I could show it to you instantly if I was still in the old house in the old country. But where it is now, it's on a shelf or it's still in a box. I don't know. I don't think that's missing. I hope not. It was a parody of Faces of Death, and it was going to be called Faces of Pain and Dismemberment originally, and then we decided it would be more marketable to call it They Saved Elvis's Brain, because, you know,
nice.
Like something someone would like.
Well, it definitely sounds, the first title's definitely Herschel Gordon Lewis all the way, man.
Yeah, well, he was going to be, if you ever saw that Faces of Death, that horrible movie that was in every video store in the 80s. And so there was a guy in there named Dr. I forget, there was a fake doctor that was the narrator of the movie. So we were going to have Herschel Gordon Lewis be the fake doctor that talks you through this sick Mondo movie. And there were going to be all these weird segments about, you know, Elvis's brain being saved. But I remember one because it was right after Rambo, the sequel to First Blood, came out, and we were going to have this scene where very blasphemous, but Jesus was going to be on the cross, and then Rambo was going to come with his machine gun and get him down from the cross and be carrying Jesus and spraying machine guns at Roman soldiers. I don't know. It was seemed funny at the time, but
Yeah, you know what? Did you ever see Mr. Mike's Mondo video?
yeah, I did.
Remember that Michael O'Donoghue, who wrote for National Lampoon, and he also wrote for the early Saturday Night Live.
Right.
He was also on Saturday Night Live. He would do his little, scary bedtime stories and stuff.
Right. He was brilliant. Yeah, he was.
Oh, he was great, man.
So, there's not a single thing he did or wrote that could possibly be done today.
No. Yeah, him along with PJ O'Rourke. Another, all those guys. The National Lampoon they'd burn those guys alive today.
Well, there's a comedian today that is breaking somehow he's getting away with it, sort of. He's this guy named Andrew Schultz, and he dresses very cool, like very stylish, and he insults the audience and tears them apart. And there is no joke about any subject he's afraid to touch. But he gets away with it because he does this thing. It sounds like it wouldn't work, but he laughs at his own jokes. Like a kid in 7th grade that insults everyone and they go, because and the laughing is, I think it's sort of something that is done in African American culture, where they'll insult each other and then they'll laugh, and it's like, okay, you don't need to be offended, and it's just like we're playing with each other, and the laughter, the riotous laughter at your own jokes keeps it from being too. But I've never seen anyone rush the stage and try to kill him. But he does it. He's like a 7th grade bully, and his name is Andrew Schultz, and he's all over YouTube. But he made the news. He made like Drudge Report and all the news 2 days ago because there was some streaming service, Netflix probably, that wanted him to cut out some abortion jokes because he doesn't care about it. He'll touch any subject, and he's just said, "To heck with you, that's censorship." And now he's going to release this special he filmed himself somehow. He's going to self-release it. So
I think that was one the Daily Caller was talking about.
Probably. He's the only comedian.
Daily Caller, and it says here he refused to edit his latest special.
Yeah, he'll have Alex Jones on. He'll have all kind. He's been on Joe Rogan. I mean, he's a pretty big guy. I didn't know about him until a few months ago. But I want to, if my wife is still watching, what's the name of that? Let's see. I don't know if she's still watching. But if you're still watching, what is that? That it's not a televangelist, but he's like a religious historian. But his hand movements. Someone was talking about my hand movements. His hand movements are like, it's like he's drawn by Steve Ditko. And I want to, if she can tell me his name, I'll stream a few minutes or seconds of him here, because he's the ultimate hand guy. It's like Dr. Strange. Let's see. Oh yeah, Jesus, that dude grew up north from here. What is it? What are we talking about? That dude. Ray Harryhausen? I don't know. I'm not really. I'm here. Oh, Trey Smith, she says. Okay, so we're going to look up Trey Smith. Oh, I've already got the artists and models. Okay, we'll watch the artists and models trailer with. Hopefully, that will not get me a copyright strike. It's weird if you share something from YouTube. Why would you get a copyright strike? It's already on YouTube. I've always wondered about that, and I'm promoting the movie, and there's probably not a single person that made this movie that's still alive today. Let me see if I can get a better. Well, we'll watch this trailer. It's a remake of an older movie, but in this remake, they set it in the comic book industry.
Surrounded by acres of gorgeous bodies in the super musical that's glorified in VistaVision and loaded, simply loaded with color. Yes, the laughs come by the bucketful with the song hits right behind.
What a heyday, this has been my lucky payday, and my lucky song. My luck was
Let me turn the music down in case that's
Played is that terrific redhead
going to set off some censor.
She is again. Old Shirley MacLaine.
See, that's the office of the publisher. You see the comic book covers in the background.
Oh, that's great. Wow, so they make those up, huh?
Yeah.
Obviously.
And one of those, the original art, was for sale at an auction recently. And so there's a somewhat good scan of it online. But let me just, I hate to use Google, but I'll use Google. So this way I can just show you some stills from it. There's a kid with one of the comics. Oh, that's Jerry. Actually. Oh man, I'm not used to using this kind of computer, but this is the character she's modeling for the Bat Lady character. So
nice.
And I don't think you saw it blow up. But let's see.
Now that's a classic.
Yeah, comic.
I think they took that. I think they modeled that after a Batwoman from like the 1920s. There's an old photo of a woman she's in that pose. Wow, look at that Bat Lady comic book, huh?
Yeah. Let me see if I can't share this differently. Just one moment. I used to be much better at the StreamYard garbage. StreamYard, share screen, Chrome tab.
Man.
I don't know how to blow this stupid thing up.
Jeez.
Oh well, it doesn't matter. You know how to find it now. Let's see. YouTube. Oops, what did I just do?
They were really going kind of for that pre-code horror look, though.
Well, it was made before the code came in, so it was actually made during the controversy.
Oh, that's great.
This mother brings her kid in that won't behave, and he kicks the publisher in the shin, and he's all into crime comics and everything. And she's saying, "Look what you've done to my son." Let's see. So
I gotta watch it now, man. That's awesome.
Yeah. Okay. I don't want Google. I want YouTube. Okay. So on a little bit of Trey Smith, you can see he's the master of hand movement. Secrets of Sumerian stones, possibly.
Let me ask you a question. Is this skull in my hand, this Neanderthal skull in my hand? Not only is this thing bigger, bolder, badder, its brain size much larger than ours today. Take a look right here. Take a look at the bottom of a Neanderthal skull's teeth. These aren't like your teeth. Look at the comparison of that Neanderthal skull down there compared to a little rinky-dink. Here's the Neanderthal teeth. Here's the little rinky-dink modern human teeth and human skull. And this little Babylonian bad boy on a boat with a bunch of people on a boat. But he gave those special garments to his son.
You think about it.
Oh, he's
human
monetized.
intelligence
He's got
has created all
commercials.
of modern civilization.
Oh, yeah, God.
In a way that shows the power of intelligence.
Like commercials every minute on
His
YouTube.
youngest son, the son of his old age, Nimrod, also called Merkur. There's an extremely heavy possibility that a lot of your ancient history
He
has
uses
been
his hands a lot. He's not doing
twisted.
it now.
So we're going to take a touch of a journey into
They heard me complaining about
ancient
ads.
Samaria. Over in the book of Yasher, it says that Cush, that's Ham's son, that Cush gave those garments to the son of his old age, the baby, the spoiled brat, Nimrod of the family. I, the radiant youth. Nimrod is far younger, obviously, than Noah. May I be embraced by you there. He's literally writing this to Noah. May I be embraced by you there. He wants to intimately embrace his sister.
Anyway, you guys can look up Trey Smith and you'll see him move his hands, but he's not doing it enough right now. Anyone else want to join us here? Let's see. Oh, Graphic Man has appeared. I think where Mike was referring to the Weird Tales pulp cover, the woman dressed wearing a bat mask. Yeah, right. The movie artist and models was getting their
I
concept.
get it.
Yeah.
There's
We're
another one.
going like this.
There's another one actually of a woman doing the full thing, like
Yeah.
from 1920.
All right.
1920s, and it's not Weird Tales.
Yeah, my friend back in Dallas would immediately know exactly what issue that is because he collects pulps. He was supposed to come possibly visit. I don't know if he's doing that or not. You have anything cool to show? I don't know how long. I may need, because it's two evenings where I've kind of ignored my wife. I may need to get down there in a little bit, but I could hang out for a little while.
Yeah, I
got any cool stuff?
I just thought I'd come on and say hi.
Hey, I was going to ask you. You do a mail order business? Is that like what your deal is?
Well, I do. I mean, I just buy and sell. I sell my movies, of course.
Oh, of course, yeah.
And I buy and sell books, magazines, comics, that type of stuff.
So how do we?
A lot of eBay and PayPal.
Okay, because that's that might. Cause there's no comic book stores here, so I'm always trying to figure out ways to obtain new stuff, but I don't really have the money. But I was wondering what how do we see your catalog, or you have a website?
Well, as far as as far as the movies go, the best way is to go to horroranthologymovies.com. That's it. That's my website.
Okay, you want me to look? You want me to show that website?
Sure. You want
Horror Anthologies.
Horroranthologymovies.com.
Horroranthologymovies.com.
Correct.
Okay, let's share screen. Share screen, Chrome tab. There's so many steps you have to go through to share a screen here. Okay, is this it?
That's it.
Okay, so this is your website.
I've had it for years. There's my last feature film, Witch Tales. That was the one I shot in Peru.
Wow!
I was telling you, I shot it. Actually, it was one of those things that the Witch Tales is all pre-code horror stories from the comics. From Chamber of Chills, Haunted Thrills, and Mysterious Adventures. A story from each of those,
And you put out this magazine as well?
No, I'm in this magazine.
Oh, okay.
I wrote the story Hogansburg Horror, which is a Lovecraft kind of story.
Yeah,
And so I was selling these on
I
eBay,
see.
but they sold. They sold rather quickly, actually.
Oh,
Which was
those
totally
glasses are
cool.
great.
Yeah, this is a video I did on 3D
Yeah. Yeah, I've got
because
a
I'm gonna. I think at a later time when I've got maybe a later episode and I've got time because there's a whole thing. These 3D comics, right? The Eclipse there that you just passed up there.
yes, I have
Dave,
this one. I
Dave
don't have
Stevens. That's the
yeah.
Bernie Wrightson, and they used to send them with those 3D glasses that were in essence the wrong type of 3D glasses. And
Oh.
so I made that video talking about the using the right type of glasses to get the full effect
Uh-huh.
because like what was that 1950s that pre-code comic book House of Terror, remember
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
and they supplied 3D glasses that were the correct type to use to get the full effect. That's just a video from MegaCon.
So that's already happened.
Oh yeah, that was in May.
So we're getting into the old stuff. This is all
Gotta get into the old stuff. I just usually post videos and I do that there.
well, okay, so this
Well,
is cool. So then it lets us
just a
go
bunch
to
of bullshit, really. To make it look filled out.
yeah.
That's just another book I have a story in.
Uh-huh.
Monster Party. I write
Right.
occasionally, just like short stories and stuff.
Yeah, so are some of the actors or actresses in this Spanish speaking?
Yeah, they're all Spanish speaking because they're all
Okay.
Peruvian. What
So-
I did is when I cast this film, I actually did a lot of the casting at a horror convention in Lima, Peru. And
Okay.
what I did is I was looking for all the lead actors and actresses. I was looking for bilingual actors because
Oh,
what we
okay.
did is we shot the film simultaneously in Spanish and English. We would shoot a
Oh,
scene in Spanish, then turn around and shoot the same scene in English.
kind of like we'll go
Yes.
see Dracula being filmed at night at the same
Yeah,
sets with the
kind of
same
like that.
Spanish actors. Yeah.
Kind of like that, except no budget.
Oh, perfect.
Without a budget. So on the Blu-ray, you have both versions of the film. The Spanish version, Cuentos de la Bruja, and then the English version, Witch Tales. And it is, I'm not trying to toot my own horn, or maybe I am, but it is the first horror anthology film in history ever shot in 2 languages.
And on the Blu-ray, can you watch both versions? You may have just said
Yes,
that.
yeah. So the bonus version is in English. The main version is Cuentos de la Bruja. It's in Spanish with English subtitles.
So what brought you to Peru?
I married a Peruvian girl,
That's what I figured it must have
and
been.
then divorced a Peruvian girl,
Okay.
and moved back here. That was why. But I was there for almost 5 years in total.
But
You know.
in the meantime, that movie where they're speaking English, it probably sounds like they have an exotic accent, like they're from Transylvania or something, huh?
Yes,
Like an accent you can't really place. What is this? Like
exactly. But for the most part, it's very clear. It's not. There's no problem. It's just that they obviously have Spanish accents.
yeah. And to answer the question, yes, Horror Mike has a YouTube channel. It's really cool.
Oh yeah. It's called. You can find it easily if you just do the search for Haunted Thrills. It'll bring it right up.
Right, Haunted Thrills. So sorry, Graphic Man, how are you doing?
Oh, doing good, but keep going.
Hello.
I think Clee has a question.
Yeah, I'm waiting for it.
How's it going, man?
Hey, good. Later, if Gratu has to leave, I'll stick out and chat with you.
I can hang out. I just,
Okay.
I just don't want to go till like 1 a.m. probably because I'm starting to get worn out. But yeah, we can stick around for a bit.
Well, me and Mike, we might have big plans about taking over the world, and things
Good,
for
because I'd
YouTube
rather
might not like to hear our nefarious plans. So.
better you than Klaus Schwab and the World Economic Forum.
Oh, Klaus Schwab, that guy. You know. Oh,
Did you see the Caracas skulls? My wife asked.
Skulls. Oh, in Peru? No.
Yeah.
I did not see them in person. I did see a lot of ancient ruins, though. There are so many archaeological sites around Peru. It's insane. You know, they just keep uncovering these amazing sites. And of course, there's also the Incan, various Incan sites, Machu Picchu and in Cusco and the surrounding areas. So it's just endless. I've never seen any one country with so many archaeological sites. You know, they're just everywhere. Even in the city of Lima, which is like a city packed with 10 million people, there are sites. There are like pyramids, you know, of the type, you know, not literal like Egyptian, but kind of more like they kind of look more like the Mayan or Aztec, kind of flat, you know, but they kind of go up.
Yeah.
But there's that type of thing, and just various sites around the city. You know.
Well, a few years ago, my wife asked me, where would you like to go? And she expected me to say, you know, like Bermuda or some crazy wild place like that. I surprised her when I said, I really want to go to Peru. And of course, she had no idea why. But I saw those pictures of those huge walls where those stones are so big that they estimate one of them by itself would be like 90 tons. Oh. And we have no crane today that could lift one.
Yes.
And they think the best crane we have today is over in Japan that could come close to lifting half of one of these. And so we have no idea of who put these things together. Of course, I have a lot of ideas.
Sure. Angels, fallen angels, had children with human women. They saw them and found them pleasing.
But when we start talking about this,
giants,
they want to start locking us away.
It's so obvious.
Yeah. But I personally would love to go there. I'm not prepared to take the 5 airline flights that it would take to probably get there. You would probably be able to tell me how many plane flights would it take me to get there.
One.
I'm in Missouri. Well,
maybe two at the max.
Okay.
Yeah.
And how many Fauci ouchies would you have to have?
I'm not prepared to do that. So
I'm putting in a link here. In the private in the StreamYard.
Oh, okay.
I don't know how that works, but if you click on it, I think this is what you're talking about. This is Saskatchewan.
What do you want me to do?
Also in Peru. You see that link in there in the chat?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. No, I didn't.
Okay. I can make a copy of that. Sure.
StreamYard.
Yeah.
I don't see the link. Maybe you sent it to him privately.
Well, it's in the private chat. You can see it. Yeah. You'll see it later. I'll make a notation of that.
I don't even know how do you do that?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's weird. Okay. All right.
I heard a tour guide say, if it helps you remember the name of that town, an American might pronounce that sexy woman. What you just said? Yeah. But how did you pronounce it?
Saskatchewan.
Okay. Yeah. It's basically the same thing. Yeah.
That's close. That's getting close to it.
Yeah.
Hey, was Ema Sumac from Peru?
Yeah, I'm sorry?
Ema
Did you
Sumac?
say that? Yeah, famous singer.
Oh, yeah.
Fantastic
Wow.
voice, yeah.
That sounds like a cool place to live. So you have volcanoes and priestesses that pray to the volcanoes singing.
Got earthquakes out the butt, all the time.
What's it like to live through an earthquake? Is that horrible?
I lived in California for years.
Okay.
I was already used to it. Didn't really really faze me too much. But I mean, it's kind of like in reality, if you look at Peru, you've got it's pretty much the shape of California if you look at it. It has a very similar geography too. You've got the incredible beaches with there's a lot of surfers. There's professional surfing going on there. You've got the only thing that it has that California doesn't have, of course, are the jungles. When you go too deep, into the interior, you hit like Iquitos, Peru, which is you cannot get to it by car, only boat. And did you guys ever see that movie Fitzcarraldo? The Werner Herzog movie about the guy that he dragged the freaking this giant ship across the Andes to bring opera to the Brazilians.
Yeah.
And he really did it. He literally, with hundreds of people, they drug this freaking ship across the mountains to go into the Amazon to bring opera. Fitzcarraldo was the guy's name.
Yeah.
And Werner Herzog made this movie. And there's like a bar, and there's photos of Fitzcarraldo and Werner Herzog and shit.
Okay.
It's kind of got a little historical kind of deal, and it's pretty crazy. I don't know how far you guys want me to go with this, but I mean, I lived in Venezuela and Colombia before that. I was there in those two countries for about 10 months apiece prior to Peru. And I got really sick there in both. And that was from eating. Like, you've heard it's like, don't drink the water.
Right.
Well, that's what happens with gringos, man. Their stomachs just cannot take the freaking, the stuff. But I figure I lived, I survived that shit. So I'm, probably a little stronger in the gastric system for it,
No, I don't mind this kind of conversation if Gratu will allow it. Gratu knows I'm a crazy, I'm an old Baptist, so I devour any of this wild information. The wall that I'm describing, they say is earthquake proof, and it's probably been there thousands of years. I eat this stuff up, and of course Bronco Bear is in our chat here. He's over in Israel, so he knows that I'll get into the weird, wild history of that civilization. So I totally dig this stuff. The other reason I would love to go to Peru is a comic book reason. Is Carl Barks, who created Uncle Scrooge and all those wonderful Donald Duck stories. He made a story about Donald Duck going to the Andes and that area of South America, where he had to find these square eggs from a museum, and he only had a couple left, and he had to prove their existence to these people he was looking for by cracking a few open. And he found all these people that were based everything on things that were square, and he had to go find these square chickens to produce these square eggs, and he finds them. The story is called Lost in the Andes. It's a great story, and it's a classic. And I love this stuff. South America is quite a place.
It is. It is incredible.
And so when you said you spent 5 years there, I was floored the other day hearing about that. So
yeah, we went down. We one time. I mean, because it's amazing how big that freaking continent is. Yeah. Like from Lima, Peru. I mean, let's put it this way: from Miami, Florida, you take a plane down to Lima, Peru. I think it's about 5.5 hours on the plane, right? Well, if you want to go from Lima, Peru, to Chile, to like Santiago, Chile, which isn't even at the tip. I mean, it's like midway down Chile. There's still a whole, I don't know, like at least 700 or 800 miles to the end, but that's another 5.5 hour plane ride.
Yeah.
Just to get to Santiago, Chile. And we did that one time. We were like, man, we got to get down to Chile and Argentina. So we went to Santiago, and then we just kind of made our way on buses, around right through the what they call the Patagonia area, which is a very, getting close to the end. But we went through that, made our way over to Buenos Aires, and then kind of worked our way around and then back to Chile. But that was pretty incredible, doing that. But and we came to the conclusion after that those countries just did not hold a candle to Peru. I mean, like if you're talking about, archaeology, history, and just the mystery of a country, Peru takes the cake in South America. There is no doubt about it. It just, which is a reason why I was able to live there for 5 years, and we did. As a matter of fact, I got to tell you, before I even met my wife, I was doing a thing. I've got another website called howlingearth.com. And me and this British guy, and eventually his girlfriend, who became his wife, we went around, and it was just at the beginning. This is about 2005, 2006. I flew to Venezuela I was volunteering at an animal shelter in this town in northern Venezuela, and so I did that. And when I kind of towards the end of it, I used to like go to this bar, hang out at this bar, and you guys would love this bar. It was like one of those classic, the types of bars like you'd see in a 40s movie where almost like, you'd have like, Humphrey Bogart walk into, and it had like, the fans on the roof. It's kind of like an open area, with a huge bar with very suspicious people at the bar with the straw white hats, that are like 80 years old. And I swear to God, a few of them that we talked to could have been like, ex-Nazis from World War II that escaped to Venezuela. I kid you not. So I was hanging out there, and I met this British chap. And so we went to the mainland in Venezuela, and the music, like just the street musicians, blew us away. We had never heard anything like it. So we decided that we would film these groups, these musicians in the streets, and make a website, and that's howlingearth.com. And so we did that off and on for the next 2 years. What we would do is like we would work for 5 or 6 months, make enough money, go back to South America, and then shoot these videos for another 5 or 6 months, go back home, work again, then go back. And that happened for about 2 years. We ended up shooting about 170 different music videos from all over northern South America. That was like, Venezuela, Colombia, Ecuador, Peru, and Bolivia. Yeah, there it is. There we go. Howling Earth, man. And so you've got all the videos there. It's, it's kind of crazy. And so we did this. There they are, man. It's definitely, it's a hell of a thing. These people are just just amazing music. It's just hard to believe. So yeah, we did that for about 2 years, and then after that, I went back down, and that's when I met my future wife in Peru. And that was kind of at the end of the recordings. for Howling Earth. You know, it about 2 years, and we were just kind of burned out, basically. You know, but that's what happened. You know, and yeah, but Peru was it. As far as I'm concerned, that is the place. If you're gonna, I mean, if you're gonna stay long term in South America, stay in Peru. It's definitely seems more stable than many of the other countries, and it's certainly like you could go to Chile, and people say, yeah, well, Chile's a lot nicer. It is. It's a lot more expensive. So is Brazil. Brazil is really freaking expensive in comparison to Peru, and I didn't have any problems. You know, it was, you know, it's you encounter the occasional racism down there. You know, it's like some Peruvians just don't like gringos. They just do not like white people or people of other colors, Asians for that matter. You know, you discover as you go into different countries, there are certainly as many, if not more, racists in those countries than there are here. You know, it's just a fact. So that was kind of it. And of course, there's weird legends of Peru. Man, I mean, I found we were gonna make another film about like the various, you know, there's like the legend of this snake woman in the Amazon, you know, that attacks men in when they're on their river boats and stuff, things like that, flying bat creatures and shit. You know, they had all kinds of legends, ghost legends in Lima. I mean, a lot of haunted houses in Lima. Wow, you know, incredible stories and so forth. So, yeah, you know, it. And as I was telling you, I think I got to talking about this before. Like, you know, there are comic book dealers and magazine dealers in Lima. I bought like Spanish. I'm going to do that one of these times. I'm going to bring out the Spanish versions of like famous monsters and stuff to show you guys. You know, pretty cool.
You pretty fluent in Spanish?
Yeah, fairly fluent. God, I hope after 5 years, man.
Yeah.
You know that. Jesus, you got it. It's like one of those things. The way I look at it is if you're going to live in another country, you better learn the language. That's all there is to it, because it's a respect to the people that live there. Yeah. That's all there is to it. It's just a respect, you know.
Imagine that.
Yeah, I know. Exactly. You know, it's like, geez, man, it's just it's like the least you can do.
Yeah.
Well, I saw Gold Key there. Too bad he couldn't make it.
I don't know if he accidentally clicked the link by accident. he just disappeared.
So yeah, if you guys have any other questions about Peru, I can tell you that yes, I totally agree with that Bronco Bear. I mean, it's like, man, you got to do it. And I encountered people, you know, other Americans or Brits living there that didn't bother. They just didn't. They from one reason or another, like they had money, didn't matter. They had their own guides that would take them around and shit. So, you know, but I was like, screw that, man. You know, you gotta learn the language and know what's going on. When we were there, this is, of course, God, it's hard to even believe. It's like 17 years ago when we started doing the Howling Earth stuff. But, you know, you could go to a hostel, get your own room, you know, rent a room for like, I don't know, $5 or $7 a night, you know, and decent too. You know, basically at that time, you could probably live easily on $10 to $12 a day. You know,
yeah,
it just in being kind of in a basic sense, it was that cheap. So it was really quite great.
Well, if I could do a little side conversation with Gold Key Geezer. Gold Key, I was hoping you'd come on. I was wanting to show you a little weird trick. Don't know if he can see that. Gold Key, the last 3 digits there, it's going to be too blurry. 806. Yeah. Even if he made me full screen, it would never be focused. It just
I'll do it.
It'll never focus on that.
Yeah.
Maybe if you move it back a little bit. Maybe not.
Yeah.
Let's see if I have a Gold Key comic around here that I could use. Hold on a second. I think I might.
Yeah. I'm hoping he already knows what I'm getting ready to do.
Here, I've got one. Let me. All right. Well, this work. Okay.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay,
All
so
right.
you're looking at the 602 there.
Yeah. So then you need to back up and look at the price.
12 cents.
Yeah.
So that would be 1966 February, right?
Yep. And so fortunately, you already see the February in the date, but sometimes they don't have that. And the ones that I was showing already didn't have the date. They just had the number. And of course, you can always pop this out and take a look at it. And but if you're looking at a wall or it's for sale, and the guy's busy and you don't want to bug him, but you're curious, I wonder what year that is or what month that is. If you go by the price tag, you could kind of tell, all right, the 25 cent, you're in the 70s. The 12 cent, you're before 1968. The last digit is the month. So what was that? That was a 2, so that was obviously a February.
02.
So sometimes you can guess what year that is. It's a Gold Key trick that recently discovered.
And it also teaches kids a lesson about inflation. But you've got to know the prices. Comic books were all 10 cents until 1961. Then from 61 to 68, they were 12 cents. Then 68 to maybe 71, 72, they were 15 cents. Then 20 cents for a few years, 25 cents around 1975. Then they went to 30, 40, 35, 40, you know.
Good.
We were off the gold. And Gold Key didn't really last much into the 80s, did they? So
I think around 83 or so, they started becoming Whitman packs. Looks like Gold Key says he was familiar with that, which is cool.
Oh yeah.
And it doesn't save anybody's life. It's not exactly a big revelation to anybody, but I just learned about it this year, and I've been getting Gold Key for a long time.
Yeah, I just learned about it like a month ago from you. Because before you'd have to always open up the book, which requires taking out of a bag or turning a page, which is hard work.
And later on, some of those Whitman packs, they wouldn't tell you what month it was, but the number is a giveaway. The number at the top is a giveaway. You go to mycomicshop.com, they don't know, so they don't fill it in. So, but that's kind of a giveaway. You could kind of figure it out yourself.
Well, I met a kid that worked at mycomicshop.com, and they have to move very quickly and fill orders very quickly. And I think he was grading comics there. He didn't stay too long, and people, I don't know. There's all kinds of stories you hear about working there that I probably shouldn't.
Oh, really? What could you give us a juicy one? Any kind of just
okay, well, I'll
hijinks?
basically tell you what I know. Buddy Saunders is old comic book aristocracy. He was probably 12, 13 when the first Fantastic Four came out, and immediately knew and bought a bunch of copies, and he was selling through mail order. And there's a letter from him and like Amazing Spider-Man #8. He was there at the beginning. He put out a fanzine comic book called, I think, Star-Studded Comics or something like Lone Star. I think it was Star-Studded because it was the Texas Lone Star State. And it was him and several other Texas fans did this Golden Age style comic book in the early.
Didn't they put out like some books too later? Didn't Buddy isn't the same guy that actually put out some hardcover books of various artists, like Golden Age style kind of stuff?
He could have been. He might have.
Hey guys, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah.
A lot of this, there are several books that I think came out from Tomorrow's like 20, 25 years ago about the history of fandom. And there's some chapters on the Texas crowd. But one of them was, what was that other? There was one of his friends that worked on that comic book had, I think, muscular dystrophy or something, was in a wheelchair. I think he opened a comic and movie poster store called Remember When, up in north of Dallas. When I would go there, he had already passed away. His widow, that looked exactly like Aunt Bee in Andy Griffith's show, was running it with her hair up in a bun.
Wow.
That's where I got my comic book spinner rack, because they would put the new comics every week in the spinner rack, which is probably not what comic book collectors really wanted to have happen. But and she got rid of both of them in the mid 90s, and I bought one of them for $25. And I think my friend Joe Riley got the other one. And you can see that in the Hypnotic Eye TV show that he did and that I helped with. And so that's probably, I don't know what happened to that. I hear a lot of his possessions were destroyed when he died.
Oh, wow.
So anyway, Buddy Saunders, in the summer of '77, he had been an art teacher in the Arlington, Texas school district, and he opened a comic store. He'd always been dealing old comics, and it was a little tiny store about the size of the room I'm in, but it was wonderful. And I just have such great memories of that original store. And he had several other stores after that. Then he expanded, or even had stores in Oklahoma. And then at one point, the old comics stopped being in the store, and they were all only done through the web. And then he just stopped having a brick and mortar store in the 2000s and went to just being only online. And he sold the flagship store, Lone Star Comics, to some, I think, ex-employees and some young kids. And now it's called, I think, Wild West Comics, because it still has Lone Star, Wild West, still the same theme, and it's still the same number of letters, so it would fit about in the space where this old sign was.
That's him. Yeah, Jake Saunders. Buddy Saunders, right? Same guy.
I guess Buddy might be his nickname, yeah.
Right, Jake Saunders.
He also wrote a few stories for Warren, for Creepy or Eerie, that weren't really that good, but he was a really nice guy.
Yeah, he put out this amazing book called Martian Legion. Hardcover, it's like 400 pages.
I think he might. Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, he just had these amazing artists. It was an original story and everything, and he had these amazing artists do like the art, interior art. And I just a quick little thing about it. I met him. I now I know exactly who you're talking about. I met him at a film festival. It's Joe Lansdale, the writer.
Yeah.
He's Bubba.
Oh, great horror writer.
Yeah, great horror writer. He's got a film festival. I made a film based upon one of his short stories. I cut a deal with him rather inexpensively to option the rights for one of his stories called "By the Hair of the Head," and so I made the film, and it was doing the film festival rounds, and he invited me to show the film at this festival where he lives, and this is kind of northern Texas.
Yeah.
I forget what the hell.
Arlington, Texas.
Yeah, but it's I mean where Lansdale lives.
Oh, Lansdale.
It's up there in that area though.
Yeah.
And that's where I met Buddy Saunders. He was there, and he saw my film. Actually, he liked it, and he was totally cool. He was a really nice guy.
He's really nice. He has a real gentle voice. It sounds, if you ever hear George Lucas talk, he has that same kind of gentle voice, nerd voice.
Yeah.
He's just the nicest guy in the world. Some of the people that worked in the store that I've talked to complained because they felt that he was for censorship. And what had happened was he just went ballistic when DC started really getting perverse with the Lobo character being this intergalactic rapist with thousands of children, kind of like Screaming Jay Hawkins, and it's like,
what the hell?
Well, there's this character called Lobo.
Lobo, I know that. I didn't realize.
And so he was a villain in Superman, but then they also had adult comics. It's around the time of the 80s. Yeah. I think when the adult comics started coming in, and they had Watchmen, and all the British writers came in with all their art school stuff and Sandman. I think Buddy Saunders was used to comic books being aimed at 12-year-olds and having a family store. And then all of a sudden of course, Lone Star Comics had no trouble selling me back issues of National Lampoon for when I was 12. But, I never bought one actually from Buddy Saunders. It was from his employees. But anyway, I'm not going to complain about that. But, at the time I thought what he basically did, apparently he came out of the back room and just said, damn it, I'm sick of this, forget them, because, I never read those Lobo comics, but I understand now what he realized where everything was going. I was just earlier, I did a show, I was flipping through a Punisher comic that has the label, and there's like eyeballs hanging out of this guy's, and he's still alive talking to the Punisher. Right. It's like, what kind of sadistic, even the Gorgor girls or something, that's funny, but this is just twisted. And there's another one where the Punisher's pulling out all the teeth from this guy, and the entire comic story is told from the point of view like you're watching from inside his mouth, like you're in the position of his tongue, and you're seeing all the teeth being pulled out. Just like these comics are written by Jeffrey Dahmer. And so what basically Buddy Saunders did, he put the DC, and he didn't stop carrying them. He put them in the back of the store, so the very back, and then you go in the store, you'd have the games and puzzles, whatever, and then you'd see the Marvel, and the DC would be in the very back. And that's what he did. Then later he tried to get even more. He'd hire, I swear, it was like Walmart. He'd hire these women in their 70s, or maybe they're about 80, little old grandmother types that would sit there and greet you as you came into the store, and to make it family friendly. But he's just an old school comic collector. He loved comics the way they were. He wanted them to stay the way they were in the Silver Age. That's what he was comfortable with. He didn't like these changes. And now I completely understand it. So I hear people complain about that. But mainly people all say he's pretty much a great guy, but they complain. I probably shouldn't say this. It's mainly about, his wife is a lot meaner. And so she like for a while he ran his mail order business out of his garage at his house. And this one guy was telling me he was working in the garage, but he'd have to walk through the house to sometimes ask questions of Buddy Saunders in his office. And the wife would just get so mad that this guy was walking through her house that, it's just like, she's just a mean wife, and he's just this nice guy, and I shouldn't even say that, but that's the main.
Well, he was a really nice guy, and it was kind of funny because at that film festival, Lansdale is friends with George Martin, the guy, the Game of Thrones guy, and he
Yeah.
was there at the film festival as well, and he saw my film, and I made the mistake. And this guy was just a dick. I mean,
I hear
George
that.
Martin is a freaking dick. You know, I went up, and of course, I talked about the film afterwards, you know, with the panel discussion, whatever. And I explained, I was like, yeah, it's like, you know, I made the film. It's like 25 minutes, part of an anthology, and the budget was like $5,000. I explained this. Very low budget, extraordinarily low budget. And so after, you know, the whole thing, I made the mistake of going up to Martin, and I was like, so what'd you think of it? And he was like, well, it's definitely not a SAG film. And then he just turned around.
SAG or STAG?
SAG, as in Screen Actors Guild. He was
That's
like
not-
saying,
I was
oh, it's
expecting
not a
porno.
SAG
Why didn't
film.
you show a STAG film?
Right. Yeah.
STAG, okay,
Yeah,
union.
He was just being a dick. I mean, well, then
Yeah.
that's basically his whole thing, you know.
Well, I've always heard that he
But-
is.
But
he
Buddy
was,
Saunders was very enthusiastic about it, and he was praising the film.
they're the same generation because Martin had a letter or two published in early Fantastic Four comics, probably in the single digits of Fantastic Four, I think. I don't know what issue, but you know, his books, it's just basically the Lord of the Rings with a whole lot of R added into it. R-A, I probably shouldn't be saying that word too much on YouTube, but you know, I never really watched the show. I watched a couple episodes. It looked kind of good, but I hear that it's like just constant bad things happening to women, and I was like, I saw enough to see Aquaman, basically. That's
it
not
was
my kind of thing. I'd rather
I watched it. As a matter of fact, I thought the first 3 seasons were really good, and then it just jumped the shark. At one point, like during the 4th season, I was just like, whoa, this has become like this really bad soap opera kind of thing.
Yeah.
You know, like who's screwing who and all this
It's
stuff. And I was
it's like
Not
Showtime After Dark version of Lord of the Rings or something. Golden Geezer, sorry we're just like ignoring you there. What's
sorry.
been up?
No,
Yeah.
this is great. I'm enjoying listening to this conversation.
Can I ask the Geezer a question? Geezer,
Sure.
I've been kind of in a whirl since last night's Fossil show, but in the chat, I got the opinion that you have recently changed your YouTube channel, and if so, why did you do that?
Well, Graphic Man, I don't know if it's a while ago, but it was like in November. I was supposed to come on a stream, and I was at my grandson's hockey game, and I got this notification from Google that my account was accessed from somewhere in like Oregon. And when I got home that evening, like a couple of my videos had some strange, like somebody had gone into my videos and changed the titles.
Oh no! What?
Yeah, I don't know how that happened, but it did. And
What
it
were they
was some
changed
sort of
to? Like,
oh, it was
dirty
just like a
Larry.
bunch of like garbage, you know, like weird characters and stuff. But anyway, yeah, I shut the channel down and I have restarted it. So if you search, and I mentioned it last night in the chat, if you just search for Gold Key Geezer, I restarted the channel, but I'm restarting from scratch because I made a mistake and I didn't back up any of my videos locally, so I lost everything. So you know,
go check it. Yeah.
So yeah,
I don't back up anything.
All I remember is I'm busy going back and forth, and I see where somebody, I guess maybe Lead Payne or Eric Breen, said, "Hey, I just resubbed to you. Hey, I subbed to you. I subbed to you."
Oh,
and I'm like, "Oh, good. He's picking up subs. I'll have to do that later, but I'm still running the show and I'm highlighting people's comments."
Well, let's find it right now here on the air. Here, I'll open up a screen and you can then I'll
great
subscribe
idea.
and we can all figure out. And then
Yeah.
anyone watching, all 12 people watching, can all sub. Let me see.
yeah.
here.
There's only one video right now. It's like a reintroduction video. I'm gonna have to basically starting from scratch. But I was only like 7 or 8 videos in, so no big deal.
Yeah, but you need to have.
Sure.
Let's see. What do I look for?
Try
name.
Gold Key Geezer. I would
Okay.
say.
Oh, Gold Key. There we go.
So you didn't just really rename it. You just kind of started over.
Yes, it used to be like its own channel with its own email, but when this happened, what I did now is I just took my personal Gmail account and started what they call a brand channel. So it's like underneath, it's just that one video. That's it.
Couldn't you have just changed your password, or does that not work?
What happened back in November was like I panicked. I did. I panicked and closed the account. But when I closed the account, I didn't realize I didn't have my videos backed up and I lost them all. But, like I said, I think I only had 7 or 8 videos and like 25 subscribers back then. So no big deal. We're starting over.
I bet they're still backed up on a YouTube server. I don't think they get rid of anything. I bet if you you could get someone to get them back for you.
If you have to do it within a certain amount of time, and I think I missed that. So it's gone. I can't get it.
You and
so like I said, no big deal. I'm starting over. That whole time I was still watching all you guys, I was
okay.
I was there in the background kind of lurking,
You and I used to email each other. Does that email still work?
No, it doesn't, because I closed that account down.
Okay.
So I'll have to somehow get you my personal email.
Do you still remember mine?
No, I'm sorry, I don't.
Okay. I flashed it a couple of times last night. GraphicMan404 at gmail.com.
Okay, I can remember that. That's easy.
I'll keep putting it from time to time. And I'm on Instagram if that helps. Hopefully I'm easy to find. But from time to time I would send you a link and go, hey, if you got it, But I just figured you were so busy from time to time. And
404 in Gold Key language is April of 1964, right?
That's right. Yes.
Yeah.
Well, depending on the price. Depending on the price of the comic.
right.
That's not your birth, because you're younger than me. You were
I
born
wanted-
in 67, maybe.
I want to just Graphic Man.
I'm 64.
No, I'm talking a Graphic Man. He's got what is it? Graphic Man.
Graphic Man 404.
404. So that'd be April 64.
I don't want numbers, but that's what the lousy, stupid Google wanted. They wouldn't let me just have Graphic Man at Gmail. No, they insisted I have some stupid combination of numbers.
All right, but I'm just saying that you can just tell people it's your birthday, and you can be a few years older.
Because Google is terrible. They're lousy, commie Chinese, whatever. I don't know.
Yeah,
but I'm going on a rant.
Well,
yeah.
But anyway, I'm glad that you're back, and I'm glad that you're getting some of this straightened out.
Yeah, I just recently picked up some really cool stuff. Have you guys ever heard of a Whitman publication called Starstream?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Four issues. I picked up all 4 issues.
Yep.
And the first issue has the John Campbell story that the Thing was based on.
Yeah, who goes there?
Oh, who goes?
Yes, who goes there exactly? And I've read that story, and glancing at the comic story in Starstream, I wonder now if John Carpenter wasn't influenced by the comic story when he made the Thing remake in 1982.
He may have been. He may have
because there's a lot of graphic graphic stuff in that story that I don't recall from the original John Campbell, short story.
Right. The Campbell story is not very graphic at all.
Right,
I
but
mean,
if you look at, go ahead.
Yeah, I was just going to say there are some scenes, that you wouldn't even call them extreme, but he had to kind of explain what was going on with the creature and so forth,
Right.
and what it did to people. But it wasn't. It was like, I would say, call it
Nice.
at most PG. At most.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
But this is something you should check out if you get a chance. Frozen Hell, John Campbell. This is the novella of Who Goes There. This
Awesome.
was the original story before he whittled it down to Who Goes There. And the characterization is much better defined in this. And it is just great. I highly recommend it. It's such a great story. There's also a guy on YouTube. You guys should check this guy out if you like really good audio. Edward French. This guy does a 12-part version of Who Goes There, and you gotta hear it. It is so good. It will definitely. I mean, he's got the atmosphere. Totally, just beautifully done. I can only put it. I'm just putting it in the private chat here. It's the only way I know how to do it. I'm not quite sure how to.
I got this at opening day at the Six Flags Mall movie theater when the movie came out.
Oh, nice.
I also had a T-shirt that I got, but that disappeared. Anyway,
Isn't that amazing that that movie is considered one of the greatest horror sci-fi movies of all time, and it was a flop when it came out because it went up against E.T.
Yeah, well, and it kind of goes like that, though, doesn't it? Because, like, if you go back to, especially to like great horror writers, like Edgar Allan Poe, H.P. Lovecraft, both of them died broke.
Right.
They were penniless. They were barely even known to people. But now, I mean, my God, H.P. Lovecraft is about the biggest name in horror. There is no doubt about it. And but they were kind of, I don't want to say they were failures because they were geniuses. But at the time, they sadly just died, penniless.
That's what I'm counting on. When I die, my Richie Rich Bitcoin will just, take off. That's what I'm hoping for.
Yeah, I just saw a thing where Elon Musk is saying that their Bitcoin and Ethereum are merging.
Oh.
You heard about this stuff? Yeah, it just happened today. There was a weird live show. I subscribed to this channel called Geographics, and they had this show live with Elon Musk and Jack Dorsey at the same time. The ex-Twitter guy.
Yeah.
Bizarre guy. But they were live talking about this thing, and I was just like, okay, yeah, that's what's going on. That's what's happening now. Start looking for the mergers of cryptocurrency. That's what's going to happen because otherwise they're not going to last. They're not going to make it. That's what they're saying, basically.
By the way, Gratu, I appreciate you letting me come on, and your scroll here going across the screen. I think it's from back in the good old days when you were in another town.
Yeah, these are old antique scrolls. Yeah.
I think I'm gonna take off. Geezer, it was good to catch up on you. I'm glad you're back. Hopefully we can start emailing again. And Horror Mike, I look forward to seeing you next time. I just started my working nights again, I saw Gratu on, and I couldn't resist. So hope to catch up with you guys later. I'm going to sign off. So good to see y'all.
Hey,
All
Graphic
right,
Man,
take care, man.
I'll send you an email. 404, right?
404. Yes.
Okay, got it.
Yeah, I'm
See ya.
gonna head out pretty soon too. I wanted to show you guys. This is a pretty cool YouTube channel. If you don't already know it, the Late Horror Show, and they have.
Oh,
streams,
yes.
I watched
you know
Yeah.
what?
I listened
They got
to it.
275 people watching a stream right now of detective radio shows. I
Yes.
keep telling my
I-
wife about this. This is something we could fall asleep to.
I often do that. I
big on the periscope. You're a busy man, Glenn.
Sorry,
Yes,
let me
I
turn
am,
the sound
sir.
down.
Take this afternoon now. I'm
But
the
they
head
always
of
have
Elsa
environments
Gate. Not
too.
another-
Anyway, what were you saying?
Oh,
I
sorry.
was just
Yeah,
saying.
go ahead.
Oh, go ahead. I was just saying I often listen to that to go to sleep.
And they
Yeah, he's
use
got
these old comic book covers as
They
the
do.
illustrations.
Yeah,
Yes,
and
yes, really
he's got
good.
the audio, and he also does a show. where
Yeah, he does a
sits
lot.
there- Oh, go
I'm
ahead.
sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say where he's like sitting there with all of his stuff, and he sometimes has a guest on.
Yeah.
Yeah,
something.
yeah. They also sometimes do like trivia shows.
Right.
Yes, yes, exactly. I've seen some of the trivia shows.
Yeah,
So
good
this is,
stuff. Good stuff.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
is great. But I highly recommend you guys check out Edward French. on
Edward
YouTube.
French, I will.
Edward French and Who Goes There. Man,
Okay.
his 12-part, he does, man, he reads a ton of stuff. He has got literally hundreds of stories that he's narrated. And he adds some, occasionally some music and stuff to get a really good atmosphere. He's a really good, this guy, Edward French, is actually an Emmy award-winning makeup artist. He lives in Los Angeles, and he's done a ton. You would recognize a lot of the films he's done makeup effects for. And on the side, he does this channel,
Cool.
and the guy is just great. I totally dig his channel, man. Edward French, fantastic.
All right, I'll look him up too.
Yep, definitely check it out.
Well, I guess I'm gonna run, but I don't know
All
what
right.
I'm gonna be doing soon. Tomorrow, I think we're gonna go see a movie, and there's and Donald Trump is in the basement right now, where he's gonna come out and do his rally here in Alaska on Saturday. So I'll probably watch that. But he's down there with the cats. He's got his jet parked out back. So anything going on cool with you guys anytime soon? Any new videos or things?
I'll have one up sometime in the near future.
Yeah,
Okay.
I am too. I'll have one up Saturday or Sunday.
Okay, sounds good. I got to go all through your page and start recording. I've got a old DVD-R recorder hooked up to the Roku box, so I can just record off of YouTube like a VCR, and it loses a little resolution. It's not in high definition necessarily, but it's that way I can preserve stuff, because like Gold Key Geezer's channel just disappears, but I think I'd record somewhere. I think I've recorded some of your or if not all of your old videos.
Oh, that would be awesome.
I mean, they're not going to be in perfect, but what I would do is if it's just audio or I'm recording music from YouTube, I would record in 6-hour speed. It degrades the picture a little bit, but the sound is fine. It's like old 6-hour VHS. And if it's something, that I want to have in as best quality I can, I record in the 2-hour speed on these discs, which they don't want you to have anymore. They don't even make DVD-R players or recorders anymore. They only sell them in Japan, but they don't want us to have physical media. But at any time, channels can be wiped out, and unless I'm always recording, and my wife thinks I'm nuts, but I'm just sort of this historian, this archivist at heart, and I want to preserve things. And it's like it's just a bit of mental insanity. But then at some point, it'll because at any time, the whole internet, it's not just YouTube or individuals on YouTube, the whole World Wide Web could go down, you know.
Yeah.
And
Well,
these are
YouTube,
not good times
you
we're
know,
living in.
and YouTube has been known to wipe out a few channels.
Oh yeah,
And
definitely.
we all know that. They
Yeah.
just disappear.
So,
So
you
that's
know,
actually a good idea. Have you archived your shows?
I recorded onto DVD-R a good more than half of the early ones, but I need to get caught up on that. That'll be a project that takes months and months, because now I started doing these episodes that last real long, and then I was playing around with StreamYard about 6 months or a year ago, doing episodes that lasted 6 hours. It got to be insane. And
Yeah, it is astounding, right? Because you know you obviously do 2, 3, 4 or more hour shows. A lot of people do that, you know, even longer.
yeah,
It's just hard to believe the capacity of a channel called, you know, like YouTube to handle all of it.
Yeah.
Because you got thousands of people at the same time just doing these massive shows, you know, and millions uploading other stuff simultaneously. It just boggles the mind, the amount of power that YouTube has. Seriously, I mean, I've just running websites. I know how that stuff goes, and it just, you know, people, you know, talk about like, you know, needing additional servers and stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, YouTube must just have, I don't know. I don't even know how to describe it. They must have warehouses and where city blocks worth of just massive systems.
But being a collector of magazines and comics and books and records, the ephemeral nature of the internet, that a website could be there and then just disappear, as opposed to, like, I have this issue of Starlog number 6, and I know exactly what movies were going to be coming out in 1976. But could I go back to look at the web page from 2002 and see, you know, I think some people preserve, but I'd rather hold it in my hands. So when the internet first started, I just pressed print on everything because I wanted to have it physically in my hand, and then I would punch holes in it and put it in binders until I had a whole wall in my garage covered in binders, stuff I printed from the internet, and because I wanted to preserve it, and it just
I totally agree. It's absolutely, you can count on print, you can't count on digital.
Yeah,
it's an absolute fact. And I was even thinking about that today, Gratu. I think that maybe Graphic Man and other people, maybe they'd be interested in actually doing some kind of a fanzine.
Yeah,
down
and then
the road.
How easy is it to change history? You know, they can retype things, but if you've got a speech by a particular political candidate, you know what they originally said, and then they can reconfigure it and say they really said
it all
this.
the time.
Yeah,
sure, yeah, but print is, you know, it's forever. Basically, that's what it is. You know, I've actually been looking at some old fanzines, like, remember Near Mint? You guys ever hear of that one?
Yeah, remember last night you talked about it, and I pulled out a copy. It's the only copy I've got. But
you got it. Yeah, exactly. I love those, and I think, like, even the more basic, the better. I mean, Near Mint was definitely kind of like a classic fanzine. Yeah. You know, pretty basic. I think well done, but as I recall, they had, like, I think it depended on what kind of paper they got to have the colors. They had different covers, with various colors. I mean, they're all like, you know, like a cover would be blue for like 20 issues, but then they'd have like gold paper, so the next 20 issues would be gold.
Yeah, the original variant covers. Yeah, I would do that with a magazine. I used to put out a magazine called The Sophisticate, and then there's different variants of color paper or color ink I'd use on covers.
Yeah, you know, does anybody have a mimeograph machine?
That was slightly before my time. I had a mimeograph machine, but I didn't bring it here. But it was cool looking. It was something they were getting rid of at the school I used to teach at.
Oh man!
But
Wow.
I love the smell of that ink. You know, when you would hand out those worksheets, that purple ink, that had a wonderful smell.
Yeah, we did a fanzine when I was a teen in Lancaster. In California. I belonged to the High Desert Science Fiction Society, and we would do like a mimeograph. You know, like I think it ended up being like quarterly, something like that. It definitely was not monthly. But you know, we write the stuff. You know, put in the little illustrations, run that mimeograph. You know, and it was great. It was just totally, you know, and then you actually had something that was physical, you know.
Yeah, I've got a few mimeographed fanzines from the mid '60s that are about Marvel comics that have the purple ink, and I think one of them had a Steve Ditko illustration that he'd given to them. And
wow.
I think it's called The Mad World of Marveldom or something like that.
Yeah, it's great. It's great. Of course, I mean, with modern printing, it's gotten pretty cheap just to actually have actual black and white pages printed. It's not that expensive of a deal, and they're actually, you know, they last a lot longer. That was the problem with the mimeographs, is that they had a certain shelf life. Let's put it that way, kind of. I mean,
it seemed like the ink almost started to disappear after a while, or get lighter. But as the first copies would be darker, and then as it got lighter and lighter as the press run went, and then
exactly. Yeah,
but it was the only way people could really do it then affordably.
But they would last, like, you know, I recall those issues probably lasted a good 20 or 30 years.
Yeah.
You know, not bad. Not bad, you know, considering that the mimeograph, the nature of the mimeograph.
Yeah. Well, I guess I'm gonna head on out. And
I'm heading out too.
I am too.
All right. Well, take care, guys.
All right.
Good night. Soon.
Thanks.
Bye.
Thanks for you know, let me on your show, Gratu, and I'll talk to you soon.
Yeah, this has been a very unique episode. Take care, guys. Bye.
See you guys later.
Okay.
All right.